What's going on? What's going on? Good evening. Good evening. Peace, love, harmony, and light to all. This is your brother Chief Kalanago with another one. Another one. All right. I know I'm not DJ Khaled. It don't sound the same, but and another one. Listen, man. I hope you guys are having a good 24, a great 24. Happy sunrest to each and every one of y'all. Man, check this out. All right. This is gonna be another, like I said, another good one. And my goal is always to teach you, all right, bring information to you that's not being taught. All right, we're going to get into the bottom of all of this. All right, I'm going to continue to expose the lies because, like I told y'all before, we as the American Indians, okay, and I'm not going to say black Indians, there's only one American Indian, and that's us. All right, the copper colored, brown, cocoa, chocolate, golden people of the Americas. You dig? And there's only one American Indian. So there's no need to put black in front of that. Black means dead in law. We are not dead Indians, all right? There was a time when we were dead Indians. Yes, they killed us on paper genocide. Hence, they called us, black, right? But anyway, we're going to dive into Haiti right now because you see, a lot of people have lost respect for our Haitian brothers and sisters. Ayti, sat passe, what's going on, all right? Let me tell y'all something, man. We have been divided and conquered. I'm talking about to the extreme. All right. What we have been through, not even Africans have been through that. Well, Chief, how can you make such a bold statement? Well, check this out. Africans still have their nationalities, right? Africans are still tied to their tribal groups and affiliations. Africans still have their languages, right? We are the only people on earth that was robbed of everything. And then you have these natives talking about, oh, well, if you're the original people, how come you lost your language? Well, let me ask you a question. If we're from Africa, how come we lost our language? So that's a dumbass question. You feel me? But they're just placeholders, you know. Eventually they have to step down and either join us or they got to get out the way. You know what I mean? You heard Ludacris, move, get out the way. You know what I mean? Because we coming down the highway full speed because we ain't playing. All right. So with that being said, we're going to get into Haiti right now. And we have to show some respect. We have to put some respect. You heard what's his name? I think his baby. Put some respect on his name. So we got to put some respect on Haiti's name. All right. And show more love to our Haitian brothers and sisters. Because if it wasn't for them, none of this independent stuff would have happened. Okay. And they want you to think it was Africans that went to Haiti and then revolted. No, those were indigenous people. I'm talking about the Arawak, the Taino, the Caribs. They are all the same people. All right. The Caribs, the Arawaks, and the Tainos are not different people. They're the same people. Well, how do you know? Linguistics. They all spoke an Arawakan language. Now, if the Arawaks were supposedly the weaker ones, how is that everybody spoke the language of the weaker ones? Somebody let it make sense, right? So it just doesn't add up. So they're the same people, okay? So we're going to go and we're going to get into a few things and you'll be the judge of that. I put the links in the description. This lesson is brought to you by myniji.com, www.myniiji.com. You know what I mean? Go support the clothing. Let us make our declaration. Let us walk, all right, in our truth. Okay? So I'm not sure who's with me right now, but like I said, we're about to get into this. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and we're gonna sift through some things because what you have to realize is this. Our truth is actually in his story. And that's why it's called history. They're telling you in the word itself, his story. But in his story, there's a mystery. And guess what the mystery is? The mystery is our story, which is my story. So you see, mystery equivalents to my story. And history equates to his story. All right. So now we're dealing with my story, the mystery, and we're pulling that out from his story. Okay, that's how you get to the bottom of things. And I'm going to prove to you that the copper-colored people that was in Haiti, they did not come from Africa or even Europe. All right. It was only later that, yes, Columbus and the likes, they came in. And of course, they were dark-skinned people that came into Haiti. All right. And they named it Hispaniola because the entire island was called Haiti, okay, which was spelled Ayti. And they called it Hispaniola, and they broke it up into the Dominican Republic and Haiti with the way it's spelled currently. All right. So I want my brothers and sisters from Haiti to know who you are, know your foundation. All right. Stop thinking y'all Africans. No, we were the ones that gave Africa civilization. You feel me? So all the cultures that you have in Haiti and different parts of the Americas, particularly the Caribbean, it did not come from Africa. It came from the Americas, and we took it about 7,000 years ago, between 7 to 10,000 years ago, we took it to Africa. Why do you think Africans look up to us? Because we have always given them civilization and culture. Okay? Over 60% of the plants that's actually in Africa is indigenous to the Americas. But you see, they will not tell you the truth. And this is oral history, written history, archaeological history, okay, that nobody's talking about. So let us go ahead and look at the Haitian independence. And like I said, let's put some respect on our brothers and sisters' names from Haiti. Okay, we got to stand together, man. It's the only way we're going to make this happen. All the beef between Jamaicans and Haitians and Trinidadians and all that stuff is divide and conquer, man. We got to stop. We have one mother, and our mother is America. All right? And the only way America is going to be great again, the original people have to get back on the throne. It's the only way it's going to happen. So let us talk a little bit about, the Haitian independence. All right? January 1st, 1804, Haitian independence. Okay? It says 1800 to 1849. African American slavery and resistance, world history, global studies. Speaking for the Negro, I'm going to say the so-called Negro because we ain't Negroes, all right? So-called Negroes, we are Americans, all right? So speaking for the so-called Negro, I can say we owe much to Walker for his appeal, to John Brown for the blow struck at Harper's Ferry, and the anti-slavery societies at the home and abroad, but we owe incomparable more to Haiti than to them all. Okay, you hear that? We owe more to Haiti than to them all. I regard her as the original pioneer emancipator of the 19th century. That's what Frederick Douglass said. All right. Our dear elder Frederick Douglass, he said, listen, man, for all the people who fought for independence, you feel me? Guess what? I put Haiti on the top list. None of them could compare to what Haiti did. Okay? On January 1st, 1804, Haiti became what? A free republic after a revolution that became in 1791, declaring independence for all from colonial rule and enslavement, not just the people in Haiti. No, that's why they hate Haitians so much. That's why Haiti is going through what Haiti is going through. Now, somebody let it make sense. If Dominican Republic and Haiti is one landmass, how is that all the atrocities only happens in Haiti and not Dominican Republic? How come all the earthquakes happen in Haiti and not the Dominican Republic? Somebody let it make sense. But they're the same landmass. Because it is targeted to Haiti. Because how dare you, Haiti, indigenous copper-colored people of Haiti? How dare you stand against us, the colonizers, the French and the British? How dare you fight and defeat us? We are going to make you pay into perpetuity until you get up and rise. Well, guess what? It's time to rise, my brothers and sisters. It's time. Okay, let us read. But you heard what it said. Let's read this again. On January 1st, 1804, Haiti became a free republic after a revolution that began in 1791, declaring the independence for all from colonial rule and enslavement all over the Americas. You know what Haiti did? Haiti said, listen, man, we whooped ass. So right now, we are giving everybody citizenship. Anybody that's enslaved, if you want to come to Haiti, we are going to give you passports. We are going to give you citizenship. That's why Haiti is paying the price they are paying right now. Not because Haiti was doing voodoo. No, that is that's our culture. Christians and all these people came here and told us it's pagan. You know what a pagan is? A pagan is someone that's not a Christian. We were not Christians. Okay? We were not Muslims either. And we were using our culture, our sciences, our miracles, that's what I call it, to defeat these colonizers until they came and told us it was pagan and gave us their Bible saviors. Up to now, we're still waiting for their Bible gods to save us. Y'all better wake up. Now check this. My elder brother, Frederick Douglass, who served as the U.S. minister, to Haiti. How many of y'all knew that? How many of you are, you people actually knew this? Frederick Douglass, who served as the U.S. minister to Haiti in 1889 to 1891 until he resigned in protest, gave a lecture on the history of Haiti and the U.S. treatment of Haiti that is as relevant and informative today as it was when he gave it on January 2nd, 1893. He begins. Okay, you see how connected we are? But no, we got to fight each other. We always trying to destroy each other. Self-destruction. That's what they taught us. My subject is Haiti, the Black Republic. Okay, well, we know we're not black, right? But we're just going to read the article right now, so I'm not going to play semantics with the words. We know that we're the copper-colored people, all right, from a very light-skinned copper of what we call red bone to a very dark brown, what people assume is black, but it's not. All right? So let's read this again. My subject is Haiti, the Black Republic. You know what? Let me rephrase that. I'm going to put it in its proper context. The indigenous republic, the only self-made indigenous republic in the world. You hear that? The only self-made so-called Black republic in the world. That was in Haiti. Put some respect on our brothers and sisters' name, man. You feel me? Let us proceed. I am to speak to you of her character, her history, her importance, and her struggle from slavery to freedom and to statehood. I am to speak to you of her progress in the line of civilization, of her relation with the United States, of her past and present, of her probable destiny, and the bearing of her example as a free, independent republic upon what may be the destiny of indigenous American races. We are not Africans. We got to stop playing these games in our country and elsewhere. Okay? He continued on the unique role of Haiti until she, Haiti, spoke to the Christian nation, had abolished Negro slavery, until she spoke to Christian nation, had given to the world an organized effort to abolish slavery, until she spoke the slave ship, followed by hungry sharks, greedy to devour the dead and the dying slaves, flung overboard to feed them, plunged to peace the South Atlantic, painting the sea with the Negro's blood, until she spoke. The slave trade has sanctioned by all the Christian nations of the world and our land of liberty and light included. Man made fortunes by the Savior of the world until Haiti spoke. The church was silent. When Haiti spoke, they shut down the Vatican. They were silent, and the pulpit was dumb. All right. Slave traders lived and slave traders died. Funeral sermons were preached over them, and of it was said that they died in the triumphs of the Christian faith and went to heaven among the just. Read Douglas' lecture in full, and I gave y'all all the descriptions here. All right. I just wanted to give y'all a quick background on Haiti. Now, let us go see and prove if the so-called slave, the indigenous people that were enslaved in their own lands, let's see if they were really from Africa. Because like I said, you have to read between the lines. And I'm going to take y'all all the way back to the 1400s when we had queens and kings, okay, in Haiti. But they will not teach you about that. But your brother Chief Kalanago is going to get into this tonight. We're about to break it down, all right? We're about to break it down, man. Check this out. Here we go. Um, Let me give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and share this. I mean, how come I'm not seeing people on Facebook over here, man? What's going on? If you guys on Facebook with me, I know I see a few folks from YouTube, right? But if you're on Facebook and you're with me, let me go ahead and let me see some nines in the chat right now. Let me see some nines in the chat because I want to make sure the Facebook posse is with me. I see YouTube, but I don't see Facebook. So what's going on, Facebook? What's up? Go ahead and share this link, man. Let's share this information, all right? This is about the unity right now. This is about the awakening of the American gods, all right? That's what this is about. Let us go ahead and share the next one. And let's go to Marie Louise Christopher, all right? And what does it say? Boom, let's read this. Let's read this. Marie Louise Christopher from what? Carib Queens by Charles E. Waterman. What does it say? Carib Queens. Well, hold up. We had Carib Queens? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Let's read chapter 1. All right. The Hotel de la Caroune. Marie Louise was born in Cape Francois in the days of his glory. Her father was a publican, and his inn flourished under the high-sounding name of Hotel de la Caroune. Okay? Now, give me 1 second here because we have to make sure we break a few things down. So let me look at this real quick and look at meaning of boom. All right. So a publican is a person who owns or manages a pub. All right. In ancient Rome, a bibliclo or a tax collector. So that's who her father was, right? So therefore, her father was a high society man. All right. So like I said, let's read with understanding because they want to play these games with us, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to break this down. So we're looking at Marie Louise right now. Okay. Her father was a publican. He was a tax collector. He owned a pub. He was a businessman and he flourished. Okay. He had a hotel. It was noted hostelry in the town and was patronized by the best people of the city, the country round about. About its court, about its courtyard were dwarf palms, mangoes, and other semi-shrubs, and from seats beneath them, one could look at mountains looming up in the east, their domes caught in the clouds, fleecy, white or blue, black, according to the season, while between them and the city were plain. The plain du Nord, upon which spread plantations rich in sugarcane and coffee trees, owned by the planter immigrants from far of France. The soil of these plantations was rich, and the richness of the transferred to the pockets of the planters. They had their families came to Cap Francois to empty their pockets, and the Hotel de la Caronne captured a part of the contents. There were high doings in the wine room when the planters came to town. The vintage of their homeland warmed even their tropic boiled blood until it sometimes sizzled. They sang songs, told stories, and played billiards. Now hold up. They're talking about they played billiards back in the 1400s. Can you imagine that, right? In the 1400s, in the 1600s, there was billiards, right? And the tips they flung to their attendants were lavish. Because of the patronage, the Hotel de la Caronne was a public place without reservation, also a publication place. Everything that could be called news was rehearsed within its wine room, within its wine room, and comments of all kinds made by those who listened. Not only was there news of the plain de Nord, but also from La Belle France. The French planters liked this possession of the homeland. What y'all need to realize is that French trappers came all over the Americas and they were marrying indigenous women because these men traveled without their women. A lot of them were Huguenots that came into the Americas. They were people of color. Okay? George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, they are all Huguenots. Pay attention to what I'm talking about. All right. Their life was one of ease, and while they leisured, riches flowed in, but their wives did not share their liking. A white woman aged twice as quickly as Saint Dominic as in home as in the home country. So because of the temperate zone, Caucasian women, not white, pale skinned women, they age twice in Saint Dominic, okay, as they would in their own country in Europe. Their husbands, they said, loved beauty and youth, so turned away from them with both had fled. Judging from the stories told in wine rooms, pardon me, this must have been so. For their polygamous souls extolled the beauties of the Negro mistresses, who somehow did not seem to grow old. Okay, you know what they say, so-called black don't crack, but we ain't black. All right, that's why I said so-called black don't crack. Okay, so polygamy was being practiced. Okay, check this out. Now, I'm not sending a message here. That's not what I'm telling anybody to do. I'm just giving you the information. You feel me? St. Dominic presented a curious mixture of population at this time. Not only were there hundred so-called black slaves to every white so-called white person, but there was a vast number of persons of mixed blood. The display on street parades was varied and remarkable, and perhaps might be called magnificent. The carefully housed French women, palely white, their white husbands bronzed by the Caribbean sun, their offspring by so-called black wives, yellow in all shades. Okay? And natives ebon black. Hold up. Natives ebon black. So who are these people? Ebony black natives. I wonder who are these people. Such a parade suggested all kinds of stories, formed a singular historic background. Because of the mixed bloods, there were many grades of society. White blood in any degree conferred freedom on the frontier possessor, and yet it did not bring happiness. The half-breed aped the white man and wanted to be white, but the class did not want him to be. The law guaranteed equality, but it was a fiction. There was a line of demarcation between the two. It was possibly in Saint Dominic for a so-called black man to be free. Free and easy masters permitted such thing, either as a gift or by purchase, if the would-be purchaser had the money. Because of this, Koyadovic, the owner of the Hotel de la Couronne, was a free man. Chapter 2. Marie Louise. Koyadovic lived a life outside of his hostelry. He had a wife and daughter, both of whom he loved. The wife, like himself, had been born a slave, but the daughter had been born free. Now, mind you, once again, because you are a slave in your own land, it doesn't mean you came from somewhere else outside of the Americas. Okay? Even today, people who are working as slaves, they don't call it slave, but when you have to go fill out an application, okay, and beg for a job, and they tell you how much you're going to get paid, and you have to work 10, 15 hours a day, and you could barely pay your rent, it's still slavery. They just call it a different name today. No disrespect. I'm just giving y'all the facts. All right? Now, Kowadovic had picked up quite a little education, and because of his surroundings, a varied one. It was irregular, however, and unsatisfactory to him. He wanted his daughter to have one obtained in the regular way, so his daughter was sent to schools. He wanted her to have accomplishments, music and painting, such as so-called white women possessed, so he employed teachers in these arts. Marie Louise was of a sunny disposition. She inherited this from her father, perhaps for he was of easy feeling. He knew the hard knocks of life. Like Jay-Z said, it's a hard knocks life for us. Okay, that was going on since in the 16 and the 1700s, ain't nothing new under the sun. And how hard it was to climb. He was considered successful, but hard not soared himself. He was he was fatalist. He could account for his success in no other way. Other people had tried harder and failed, so he was ready to hold out a helping hand to those who tried to rise. But the mother would have liked to see her daughter put on dignity, her possession warranted. Mary Louise was sunny, a child she played with all the children who came her way, so-called black or so-called white with the shades between, played in the palm shaded streets and the place of Denamis, of Cap Francois, or with the naked so-called black Uchins in the clay-baked alleys or compounds. Station made little difference to her. Now check this out, the naked so-called black urchins. All right. As she grew older and more domestic, she was quiet. She was quiet. She listened to the stories told by old farmers of all colors in the streets of Cap François and to those of the French women who tarried in the waiting salon of the Caron. Strange stories they all told. There was the old woman slave who scrubbed the floors of the hotel. She had been born in Africa, and the wild life she recited and yet longed for awakened a kind of Aly Marie Louise. Her unknown ancestors must have shared that kind of life only 3 generations before her. Then Adele, the free women who were bought stories of duplicity and fraud from the plantations of Plaine du Nord, along with her vegetable and fruit. Then the French women of the waiting salons, they were so unhappy they did not care who heard their stories. It was possible for a so-called white man to love a so-called Negro, but a so-called white woman could not love even a so-called Negro saint. Then she heard of a far of France that these so-called white women were always longing for, and of the richness there with which even the French furnished houses of Saint Dominique could not vie. Marie Louise gained an education to be had in the public schools and had an historical knowledge not to be found in textbooks. Her mother denounced this knowledge as out of the regular course, but her father sympathized with it. It was so like his own. He had not thought of it valuable in his own case, but when he heard it from his daughter's lips, his daughter, who was educated, it was aroused a new interest and value. You are a wonder, he told Marie Louise. You should be a queen. You know so much about the people and have such an interest in them. Kowadovic could not conceive of any possibility that could make her a queen. When he made the declaration before his wife, she flung up her head. She's too common and undignified. She said nothing of that sort could happen to her. Nevertheless, Marie Louise grew up into the same sunny-faced woman she had been a child. She was loved by all the people of Cap François and the plantations outside. Now check this out. Let us read. Chapter 3. The boy from St. Kitts. Pay attention to what I'm reading now. Okay. One day, during Marie Louise's girlhood, there came a new possession into the Kowadovic household, a boy slave among 12 years old. He had been brought from a French naval officer in the fleet of M. Le Comte d'Estaing, which had put into the harbor of Cap Francois. This boy had been born on the island of St. Kitts. Now, let me ask you a question. Why are they taking people from St. Kitts and bringing to Haiti? You see, that's why I keep telling you, man, they were taking indigenous people, so-called black people from all over the Americas and taking them to different parts of the Americas and talking about they came from Africa. I'm telling y'all the game that was played on our people. This man was from St. Kitts, from St. Kitts Nevis. He was an indigenous man. But the moment you hear black and slave, the first thing that comes to mind is Africa. I keep telling y'all, man, stop doing that. Okay? He had endured the same life as all slaves, 6 years of naked freedom and then work. At 7, he had been apprenticed to a mason kept on his master's estate. 5 years he worked at this, and after efforts showed he learned the trade well. It was hard work. However, at the age of 12, he ran away. Or to be more exact, he changed masters for the French sailing master who received him on board his ship, claimed him as a slave. He never had a name until on board the ship, when the sailors dubbed him Christophe because of the island he came from. Okay, and Cain followed him through the life. Okay, the ship on which he took passage put the harbor of Cap Francois. As he entered the harbor, it was discovered to be in the midst of the French naval fleet of 24 ships under the command of M. Le Comte Estienne. This fleet was bound for Savannah on the American mainland to aid the Americans who were fighting to free themselves from the British overlords. The admiral had been recruiting 1,500 soldiers with which to assist the American colonies, and 2,200 more from Guadeloupe and Martinique, because like I told y'all, it was our indigenous ancestors who fought this battle, okay? Who fought this battle, including so-called black Negroes from Europe. And I give y'all the colonial records, I give y'all the New York records to show and prove their occupation, their country of origin, and their complexion. The pale man did not fight this war. The only major war that the pale man fought was in World War One. Okay, y'all better recognize what's going on. Let us read. The young officer had no other use for a servant, so he sold Christophe to Cordovic. Christophe was of rather a showy disposition, but no one could withstand Marie Louise's sunny smile. So she became close childhood friends and sweetheart as the years passed. He had a fund of new tales for her to listen to and meditate on. Most of her old stories had to do with the island she lived on and France, the country the so-called white planters came from. Now she learned there was a land to the west of Saint Dominique, a great nation, and they were fighting for independence from England. But hold up, a great nation. Why is there a great nation at that time when they are talking about so-called slavery coming from Africa? You see, like I tell y'all got to read between the lines, man. Read between the nonsense, but let us read. She listened to this description of the soldiers who he marched, the Negro troops from the West Indies. Hold up, the Negro what troops from the West Indies? But I thought they were slaves from Africa. If they were slaves, how could there be so-called Negro troops from the West Indies? The regulars from the France and the hard-featured farmers from the American colonies. We are talking about more of the indigenous men of color. But mostly she liked to listen to the stories of Saint Dominique, the mulatto, all right, Chavannes, who had become Christophe's home. Chavannes had been greatly impressed with what the Americans were fighting for freedom. Why could not freedom be had in Saint Dominique? This greatly impressed Marie Louise. She was free, but why could not Christophe, her best friend, also be free? Christophe was stable boy about the hotel, and light-hearted, half-drunken planters tossed him many pieces of gold as a tip when they brought their horses to the block. Well, hold up, they were tipping people in Haiti at that time in gold. Yes, we were rich in gold. Pay attention. All right, that put an idea into the head of Marie Louise. Keep them, she said, and I will make father sell you your liberty. Then you will get what Chavannes is talking about. The idea took root in Christophe's brain. The work of stable boy was not strenuous, or Christophe had many hours of leisure. These he passed. For the most part, Marie Louise' company, she read to him, mostly books of history, to which he listened eagerly. She was reading about the English colonies one day when he interpreted her as a sudden thought took possession of him. He was from an English colony. All the English people had at least two names. He had been named Christophe by the French captain, but he was going to have an English name to give with him. Henry was the name he picked out. But the French people have Henres in interrupted Marie Louise. Yes, but did you not tell me they spelled the name differently? Inquired Christophe. Yes, with an I instead of a Y, admitted the girl. The mine shall be spelt with Y, declared Christophe. Then, if that be your desire, it shall be Henry, and I will be the first to address you. And she held out her hand. Henry grasped it and looked into her clear eyes for a moment, then drew her into his arms and kissed her. You are a darling, he whispered. The cycle of childhood friendship ceased at the moment that commune of the lovers began. Very shortly, Christophe was taken from the stable and put into a billiard room. They had billiard at that time, like I said before, to keep the score of the planters. It was a better place. The tips were more numerous and larger. All right. The stingy overalls of the stable boy were exchanged for a so-called white starched coat and shirt. You look much nicer, commanded Marie Louise. Thank you, returned Christophe. I feel nicer. I am grateful to you for the advancement, for I suppose it was your influence that obtained it for me. Father ought to be willing to do something his of his daughter, was the only comment of Marie Louise. The change was an education to Christophe, and the role of the teacher changed from Marie Louise to the first. The planters talked over her billiards and their wine, and longer they played, the more they drank, the more they talked. They said things not intended for slave ears. The wine loosened their tongues and blurred their intellects. Christophe listened with amazement and then coolly digested what they said, and within the short tropic twilight told what had been said. With this disgusted reflections to Marie Louise, it was as new to her as Christophe first amazed her as it had her lover. Then she conjectured upon it. Then it was that Christophe became teacher. What had heard the planters say was that Saint Dominique was a powder barrel and liable to blow up at any time. There were, they said, 20,000 planters with 500,000 so-called black slaves, 500,000 so-called black slaves, and between them were 24,000 people, neither so-called white nor black, and three classes were adopted to each other. With the slaves ever found over the power of numbers, it would be death to the so-called whites. Also, if the jealousy of the mulattoes increased to the boiling point, so could join the so-called black slaves at the boiling would become fiercer. But they were so jealous that they would not unite. All right, it's the same thing that's happening to our people today. All right, so much jealousy, so much envy in nothing under the sun. That's why we're not uniting. All right, check this out. Marie Louise listened and thought as she listened to Christophe. They may be a revolution, she mused. A so-called black kingdom may take the place of the so-called white one. Chabella's dream may come true. I mean, it mean bloodshed, interposed Christophe. Oh, I hope not, exclaimed the gentle Marie. Another thing the planters talked about, and that was the homeland of France. They were having a revolution across the sea. The king had been beheaded, and a new order set up. The people had torn down the Bastille and declared all men brothers. If the idea should ever cross the ocean, this province, then all would be doomed. France was rather of a misty, faraway land to Christophe and Marie Louise, a wonderful land where they thought of the fine furniture which adorned the house of the French and the following dresses which robbed their wives and daughters. All right. Now, I'm just giving you some information, a precursor to what took place between Marie and Christophe. All right. So, with that being said, you could go ahead and read. I'm not going to read the entire book. I put the link in between there for you, but ultimately, Marie became a queen. All right, that is the synopsis of the story. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing, but again, please do me a favor, read it. Okay, I mean, it's a beautiful read. Go ahead and read it. Let us go to the next one of Marie. All right, but please, like I said, read. All right, read it. It's a beautiful story. Please read. Okay, all right, let's go. Marie Louise again. Check this out. Here we go. This is what Marie Louise looked like. Okay, that's what y'all could see. Marie Louise Christophe, Blue Plague unveiling ceremony. All right. London register. All right. So this is documented footage of Marie and Christophe in Haiti. All right. The Queen and the King. He made himself king. This event will celebrate and commemorate Marie Louise Christophe, first and last Queen of Haiti, who lived in Britain from 1821 to 1824. Now they said first queen. I'm going to prove to you that's not true. You see the trick with the that's the trick with the word. It's all trickery, and I'm going to prove it to you. Yes, it's the first queen of Haiti, which is spelled Haity, but it's not the first queen of Ayti, which is Ayti, which was the indigenous name. So you have to show y'all the wordplay and the games that they play. Yes, she was the first queen when they changed the name and it became Haiti on the colonization. All right, pay attention. A Haitian queen in Georgian Britain. The Haitian Revolution remains without a doubt one of the most important events in the world history. Okay, though the triumphant history of Haiti, which became the first independent so-called black nation in 1804, the first so-called black nation, period, Haiti, all right? And the first nation to permanently and universally abolish slavery. My brothers and sisters, we got to have some more respect for our Haitian brothers and sisters and show them some more love. What's going on in Haiti right now? We should be in an uproar. We should be ready to take flights and go help our Haitian brothers and sisters because of what they did for everybody around the world. Everybody around the world. Okay? It is widely overlooked that this is truest steel of the histories of Haiti's hero-ness. After the death of her husband and assassination of her sons, Marie Louise Christophe, Haiti's first and only queen, traveled to Britain with her daughters in September 1821, where she spent the next 3 years of her life. Initially, by the abolitionist Thomas Clarkson, she took up various lodging in the Blackheath and the Hastings before settling in Melbourne, which she lived until 1824 when she departed with her daughters for Europe. Okay, now once again, y'all could read this, but I'm going to read a couple more, just about one more paragraph or so. Then you could go ahead and read. Like I said, it's a beautiful story. Okay, Marie Louise was referred to in the Haitian royal almanacs as the August reign des Haitians, and was, according to the 19th century British press, beloved by all ranks and conditions. All right, now check this out. Okay, she was almanacs as the Augustes. Now, one of my relatives, okay, guess what? Their name is Auguste. It's just that there's an I right after the U. I'm letting y'all peep game now, peep game. And they're indigenous colonagos. Peep game. All right, let us read. Paid homage to the numerous and namely women enslaved and free, who fought and died in the struggle of freedom and the independence. She created a ceremonial legend of all women soldiers known as the Amazons. Okay, as the Amazons, who became a part of her retinue as queen. In her European exile, she demonstrated an unparalleled courage, resilience, and determination to survive and thrive. Okay, while numerous Haitian regimes rose and fell, she lost many beloved family members during the course of her tumultuous life. She lived according to the maxim of the Haitian kingdom. Oh, y'all didn't know that, huh? The Haitian kingdom, and there was more than one. All right. Je renasse de mes cendres. I am reborn of my ashes. All right. Join us for the revealing of the Nubian Jacques community. Trust blue, blase, blase, blah. Anyway, we're not gonna read the rest, but you could go ahead and do what you got to do. Okay. Now, why am I reading all this to you? I'm just giving you information because I want you to realize the part that Haiti played in fighting all these people that came here to colonize our people. And right now, what Haiti is going through, what Haiti been going through, and we are overlooking it. All right, we are overlooking it, not realizing that when these people came into the Americas, Hispaniola, aka Haiti, was the first country they called the West Indies. They called the Americas, even if that name America had already existed within the Mayan, Nicaraguan, indigenous languages as Amerique. Okay. Again, man, we got to stop with the divide and conquer. Now, I'm going to prove to you that she was not the first queen of Haiti. Yes, she was the first queen of Haiti, Haiti, but not the first queen of Haiti, Ayti, which is the original indigenous name. Let us go ahead and read a little more because reading is fun for the mental. You feel me? These people will not teach you these things. Okay? And I gave you the website where you could go find that information. I put all that information together on the website for us. Okay? www.ipnan.org. And this is what she looks like. Okay, this is Queen Anacaona. Look, that's an Arawak Carib Taino woman. Same people, no difference. All right? But let us read the story. But hold up. I thought these people came from Africa and as slaves, but let us read that story and I'm going to prove to you once again I know what the hell I'm talking about. Look at the date. In 1474, Queen Anacaona was born in Yagana, which is now modern day Leogan in Haiti. Yacona was the capital of Zaruga. Okay? That's in Haiti. So hold up. You're trying to tell me there were so-called black queens in 1474 in Haiti? So let me ask you a question. So where did they come from? If all the so-called black people in Haiti come from Africa, where did this queen come from? You see, people are they're playing games with us, and we are falling into the games. We are falling into the miseducation, and that's what's going on right now. Not realizing that the Haitians calling themselves Africans, they are actually indigenous people of the Americas. Now, yes, there were, and yes, a few Africans did come to Haiti, okay, but the majority of the so-called black people that came, they were from Europe. They were from Europe. So once again, just to reiterate, a lot of the people in the Americas have more of an admixture with so-called black Europeans than African. And that is facts. Okay, so I'm asking you the question. In 1474, Christopher Columbus hadn't even come into the Americas yet because he came in 1492. So let me ask you a question. In 1744, before the so-called discovery of the New World, we had an indigenous woman of color that was a queen in Haiti, Queen Anacaona. Why didn't I teaching y'all that? Because you see, it's going to debunk the lies about this so-called slave trade. You see, they have to make it up. But let us continue to read, because reading is fun for the mental. Let us read. All right? Let us read. Anacaona, this is what her name means. Anacaona means golden flower in the native what? Taino language. So you see the complexion of the Taino? Dark skin, copper toned woman back in the 1474. So let me ask you a question. Who are all these pale Tainos today? Okay, those people are Spaniards, mixed in Creoles, Spaniards, an amalgamation of indigenous people and their pale children from Europe. So y'all better recognize me. I keep telling y'all, stop playing with me. Let us read. She was the younger sister of whom? The king of Zaragoas. Hold up. You're talking about in 1474 Haiti had a king? Oh, They didn't teach you that, huh? Oh, well, now all they're teaching you is, oh, well, all the so-called black people in Haiti, they came from Africa. But we just getting started, man. We just getting started. The king of the Zara, the XR, his name was Behichio. In 1494, Christopher Columbus visited the Zaragoza kingdom. Guess what? They had a kingdom for trade and was met by Anacaona and the king, which was her brother. Anacaona was seen as an equal negotiator with the king because we put our women on pedestal. We didn't look at them as they are underneath us now. We rule together. And that's what's happening to y'all indigenous brothers and sisters today. Y'all want to put each other down. Women talking about, oh, we have more power than the men. Oh, we are better than the men. Men talking about, oh, we better than the... Y'all need to shut the hell up. Okay? Check this out. She and her brother were able to successfully and peacefully negotiate trade with the Spaniards. Yes, the so-called the black devils that came here. They were black devils, yes. Okay? And I'm talking about in skin complexion as well. Of course, they were not black, but people of color. She was held in high regard with her people even before she became queen. Her legendary beauty and leadership made her popular and memorable. She would later marry the king of Maguana, Coanabo, which helped expand her influence over the Taino people of Zaragoza and Maguna. Okay, it was another indigenous so-called man of color that was a king. Okay, two kingdoms coming together. But they will not teach you that about Haiti, huh? This is why Haiti is going through what it's going through. Haiti was one of the most powerful nations on earth, period. Y'all gonna learn today. After she married Coanabo, he was kidnapped by Christopher Columbus troops and deported to Spain. Oh, they're not telling you that, huh? That the first enslavement that happened in the Americas was the American Indians being taken to Spain and Europe. Okay. He was accused of leading an attack on La Navidad, a settlement on the northern part of the island for the Spanish. Coanabo died on the ship sailing to Spain. Meanwhile, Queen Anacaona was able to escape death by leaving Maya Maguana and returning to her home in Zaragoza. Upon arriving to the island, Spaniards began to dominate and conquer the Taino people. Led by their queen, the Tainos stood and fought for their land and their freedom. Okay, our ancestors were not punks. They came together and fought, unlike our people today who want to be divided and all they care about is distractions. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jamie Foxx, Steve Harvey, his wife, Steve Harvey's daughter, you know, who she's cheating with, what you may call it, you know, it's just so many distractions. Okay, our ancestors had a different mindset. You feel me? It was about defending our lands, standing for freedom, standing for justice. Okay. Ex-Aragua was the only remaining kingdom that the Spanish had not overtaken. Okay, the only remaining, that means there were others, but that would soon change. In 1502, Spain shipped a new governor to the island, Governor Nicolas Ovando. Upon arrival, he brought with him 2,500 Spanish troops. In 1502, Governor Ovando requested a meeting with Queen Anacaona, which she kindly accepted. Now, that's in 1502, my brothers and sisters. So let me ask you a question. Where did this so-called black slaves came from Africa when they already had people of color and we had kingdoms with kings and queens? The meeting evolved into a reception by Anacaona and the noblemen of Who? The nobleman of whom? The nobleman, that's right, of ex Aragua. During the reception, Anacaona and her noblemen were ambushed by the governor and captured. All of the noblemen were killed, and Anacaona was taken to Santo Domingo, where she was killed by hanging at the age of 29. Queen Anacaona was fierce and beautiful, a queen of many talents, and a symbol of freedom. She was known for her ballads, poetry, plays, and ornaments. Her royal courts often displayed. She was the first known woman to be of significance among the Tainos. She stood in a solidarity with her people to the death. Even after being offered a position as a concubine for the Spaniard, Anacaona was amongst the first of the Tainos to fight of the Spanish conquerors when they arrived on the island of Hispaniola. Although she was defeated, she will always be remembered as a brave warrior and a champion of freedom, revered by her people because of her fearless actions and leadership. She is often thought as a myth rather than an actual historical person. Queen Anacaona will proudly stand on your shoulders. Okay? They want to turn her into a myth, just like how they want to turn, Queen Khalifa of California as a myth. You feel me? Yes, in 1474 and beyond. Even before that, we had kingdoms and kings and queens in the Americas. And yes, they were people of color. So let me ask you a question. If they were before even Christopher Columbus and those black devils came, we were already here. And I just proved it to you again, giving you documents to go research yourself. Don't believe anything that I say. I want you to think that I'm lying to you because I want you to go look it up yourself. Okay? I'm just debunking all the lies, man. Let us go read another one and another one and another one. Boom. Okay? Let us go read another one. We're almost an hour in. I'm going to conclude in a minute. Let us read. That's from Wikipedia. I give you an independent source because most people think, oh, well, Wikipedia now. I give you another source and then I'm going to Wikipedia. Okay? Check this out. Let's read a little more. Anacaona, 1474 to 1504, or golden flower, as the Taino Kesika, or female Kasik, a chief. Yes, we had female chiefs. For those of you who don't know, put some respect on my sisters' names. All right. Religious experts, poet, and composer, born in ex-Aracoa before the arrival of Christopher Columbus in 1492. You see that? Ayti, or look the other name, Quesquia, okay? To the Tainos, that's what it was called, Ayti or Quescaya. To the Tainos, the Spaniards named it La Española, i.e. Hispaniola, now known as Dominican Republic, and Haiti was divided into 5 kingdoms. Did you know that? Exracoa, Macuana, Hikui, Macua, and Marian. And Anacaona was born into a family of K6. You hear that? She was born into a family of K6, meaning that kings and queens and female chiefs and male chiefs. You hear that? And that was in 1474. So we are talking about 1300s, born into that family. But hold up. I thought all so-called black people came from Africa as slaves. Hold up. I thought the original natives of the Americas, they are the pale-skinned people. Hold up. They're not telling y'all something. Something ain't adding up. Something isn't adding up. Okay? It's not adding up. Y'all better pay attention now. All right? Into a family of Kasich. She was the sister of Bohichio, the ruler of ex-Aragoa. Now look at the complexion of these people. Y'all better stop playing with me, man. See the complexion of these people? Dark-skinned people. Dark-skinned people. Kasika of ex-Arakoa. Check this out. She succeeded Bohichio as the Cacica after his death. Under Anacona's rule, the Spanish settlers and Taínos of ex-Aracoa coexisted and intermarried. In 1503, Nicolas Ovando, the governor of the island, visited ex-Aracoa. He suspected an insurrection was brewing among the Taino chiefs, including Anacona, presently in the kingdom. Ovando gave the order for the caciques to be captured and burned. Anacaona was hanged. Okay, now we could read her early life. Anacaona was born in Yagoana, present day Leogin, Haiti, the capital of Little Spain. In 1474, her name was derived from the Taino words Ana, meaning flower, and Kona, meaning gold or golden. Anacoa's brother Bohichio was a local chieftain. He extended his rule in 1475 to include all territories west of ex-Aracoa. Through consolidation of his influence and power, Bohichio married Anacaona to Kanabu, cacique of Magoana. Together, they had one daughter, Hai Gui Mota. On December 4th, 1492, Christopher Columbus arrived in the kingdom. Okay? Don't let this MFers make y'all think we was around here running around naked and shit. Okay? If we did that, it's because we so chose to, because we were a free people. Let it hang. You feel me? But we had kingdoms. All right? He arrived in the kingdom of Marianne at present-day Muel Saint Nicolas in Haiti. He was in search of the direct route to the Indies. India. Upon arrival, he was greeted by the Taínos, who were much smaller in stature compared to the Spaniards. Columbus was gifted with what? With gold, corn, which is indigenous to the Americas only, and other items. In 1493, the Spanish crown established a colony whose sole purpose was to excavate what? The gold and other precious metals. That's why I keep telling my brothers and sisters, we have to unite. Is the only way to come together and make this thing happen, so we could get redress and get back compensation for everything that was taken from us. But it seemed like I'm preaching to the dead walls and man. But you know what? I'm gonna continue to bring the work and do what my ancestors brought me here to do, man. Because they're gonna send the right people to me. They're gonna send people with integrity, people who are ready to make this thing happen. You feel me? They gave me some work to do, so I'm going to be obedient and I'm going to continue to do it. With the establishment of the new colony, Santo Domingo was a new colony. Santo Domingo was a new colony. That's why they separated Haiti and they gave them Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Okay? And that's why the other side called Ayti, because that side was the greatest kingdom. All right? Y'all pay attention, man. The Taino were kidnapped and enslaved to satisfy the needs of the crown. Hold up, they were what? They were what? They were enslaved. But I thought all slaves came from Africa. No, our people, my brothers and sisters, we are prisoners of war in our own land. We are POWs. Yes, the so-called African American, the so-called colored people, the so-called black people, the so-called Afro-Americans, the so-called niggers. Yes. We did not come from Africa. We were already here. Many Taino women were raped. Yes, go read your Bible. It's in the Bible. Okay, it's all allegory, man. You feel me? And those Tainos were resisted. The Spaniards were murdered. In 1493, Canabo was arrested for ordering for the destruction of La Navidad, a Spanish colony in the northeastern part of the island, and its people. He was shipped to Spain and died in the shipwreck. During the journey, when Canabo was captured, Anacaona returned to ex-Aragoa and served as the advisor of Bochillo, which was her brother. In 1498, Bohichio was confronted by Bartholomew Columbus, brother of Christopher Columbus and founder of the city of Santo Domingo, who arrived in ex-Aragoa with his troops to subdue Bohichio and conquered his territory. Okay, we were indigenous people. You feel me? And a lot of these so-called black people that came from Europe, the conquistadors, the Spaniards, the Moors, okay, the um the Jacobites, yes, the Hebrew Israelites, okay. Y'all think I don't know what I'm talking about? Y'all better recognize I know what I'm talking about, okay. Their Bible had nothing to do with us. I'll repeat that. We are not no lost damn tribes of Israel. We are not, okay. The purpose of the Spaniards in so doing was to acquire gold with his power, um, with his power weakened. Boichio, advised by Anacaona, decided to recognize the sovereignty of the Catholic monarchs. Instead of fighting, he committed himself to pay the tribute levied by the Spaniards with products such as cotton, bread, corn, and fish. After Boichio died in 1500, Anacaona ruled as Cacica until on 1503. All right, now you see the territories right there, right? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kingdoms. Right here, you see the map of the kingdoms that was in Haiti. But they got y'all fooling y'all, thinking that, yes, these so-called black people came from Africa. Now, we were already kings and queens here. All right? The five Casaquiogos, chiefdoms of Hispaniola at the time of Christopher Columbus and the arrival. All right? Anacaona, arrest and death. Massacre. In the fall of the 1503, Governor Nicolas Ovando and his part of 300 traveled on foot to Aracoa. They received a lavish ceremony by Anacaona, her nobles, and several Taino chiefs. While the Taino presented the reception as a gesture of welcome, the Spaniards saw it as being an elaborate distraction. Ovando's party was under the impression that Anacaona and the Taino chief present at the reception were planning an insurrection. Ovando lured the chiefs into a cane, which is a large hut, for the Spaniard tournament, and gave the signal for the Spaniards to seize and bind the K6. All right. They were burned in the cane, in the huts, while other Tainos of lower rank were slaughtered outside Anacaona's hand. According to historian Troy S. Floyd, the accuracy of the accounts of this event remained uncertain for many reasons. For one, even though the separate accounts made it seem as thought it was a perfectly segregated fight among racial lines, the two groups had coexisted and intermarried for 6 years prior. Okay, meaning that those black Europeans that came into the Americas, they married our indigenous women. Okay, that's why I keep telling y'all, a lot of us in the Americas, we have more European, not pale European, but dark-skinned European blood in us rather than African blood. They align to our people. All right, as such, there was a history of the harmonious relations between the two races, because they intermarried, some of it by rape, some of it by force, some of them fell in love. Okay. And a lot of the original people of Europe had a white status. Keep that in mind. Okay. That's why when you look at the SF 181 form, you'll realize they said original people of Europe. They know what they're talking about. It is unclear why the Spaniards would lure the Tainos into a trap. Additionally, 50 Spaniards were killed. This is a high number of casualties, considering that the Europeans deployed superior military technology. Finally, Aracoa K6 were respected as some of the most intelligent on the island, and is unlikely that they could be lured into a hut if they were planning their own revolt. According to Sir Offers Helps, Book of the Spanish Conquest in the Americas, 1855, Nicolas Ovando renamed the place where Anacaona was murdered the City of True Peace, La Villa de la Vera Paz, in honor of his recent triumph. The arms assigned to the city were a rainbow and a cross. Okay, a rainbow and a cross, with a dove bearing the olive branch. Man, y'all better pay attention to the symbols, all right, legacy and influence. Anacaona, as a poet and composer, is accordingly memorialized in contemporary art and literature across the Caribbean region. A statue commemorating her legacy in Leogane, Haiti, the tallest building in the Caribbean. All right. Torre Anacaona 27 is named after her in the Dominican Republic. The song Anacaona, led vocals by Chio Feliciano, popularized her story. All right. So I'm just giving y'all some information, man. All right. Now let me go show you some more images of this amazing queen. Here we go. So I'm going to ask you once more. If the Taino people were dark-skinned people, brown-skinned, copper-toned people, who are these people calling themselves Tainos today? Who are these people calling themselves Native Americans today when these people were dark-skinned, heavy melanated people? You see? Look at the complexions. Let me go show you the statue they built of her. Ah, man, hold on for a second. Right here. Check this out. Let us take a look at this. Well, let us take a look at this. I'll be damned. Let us take a look at this. This was the complexion of her. Okay, copper tone, brown skin Queen Anacaona, 1474 queen. But wait a hold up for a second, Chief. I thought all so-called black people in the Americas came from Africa and they were slaves. Well, no, this is her right here. Okay, y'all better stop playing these games, man. Stop playing the games. And that's why I keep telling y'all, we have to show our Haitian brothers and sisters some more love and respect because of what they did for the entire Americas. Okay? Y'all better recognize that. You feel me? Come on. I'm closing that out. For real, for real. Okay? All right, check this out. It's another image of her, a little drawing of her. Right here. Let us pay attention. You see that? That beautiful copper tone complexion? That's the image of her right there. You see that? Look, check this out. Look at this picture right here. You see that? Copper tone, dark skinned people of Ayti, 1474. You dig? Let us look at a couple more right here. Look at this. All this is depictions of them. Look at this. All this is depictions of them. Okay, look at this. All this is depictions of them. Look at this. All this is depictions of them. Yes. So somebody told a lie, man. Somebody told a lie. Okay? Somebody told a lie. Somebody told a lie. Man, I think I gave y'all enough. I'm about to get out of here. I want to thank y'all for being a part of this build. Don't believe anything I say. Go do your own due diligence. Do your own searching and do your own research. And you'll find out everything that we were taught was a lie. Okay? It was a lie. We are the original indigenous people of the Americas, without a doubt. I just proved to you that in 1474, Haiti had kingdoms, kings and queens, male and female K6, and they were brown-skinned, copper-toned people. So somebody got some explaining to do. Haiti was the first country to get its independence and extended citizenship to every other country that was colonized. That's why Haiti is going through what it's going through right now. But I want my brothers and sisters from Haiti to know we need to come together. We are building that foundation. I know what you did. I know your relevance. Okay? I know the sacrifice you made. Or else none of us anywhere in the Americas would have been where we are at today. There would be no civil rights movements. There will be no Wall Street, so-called Black Wall Street without Haiti. Facts over feelings. Y'all take it whichever way y'all want. Okay? Haiti started it. And we're not giving them the respect and acknowledgement because we think they're foreigners. See, we got to stop this divide and conquer, man. I'm not from Haiti, but I'm giving them their flowers for their strength and tenacity, for standing, and the lies they told y'all about the Taino, the Arawaks, okay, and the Caribs. They are all the same people, all one people, same complexion, everything. So I'm going to have to ask you again, who are these pale-skinned people they are telling you that are the natives all over the Americas? It's called trading places. Okay, trading places. That's what it's called. I love y'all, man. And I'm wishing y'all an amazing continuation, an amazing sunrest. Let's continue to come together. Let's continue to love each other, man. Whatever we've been through, we have to learn to forgive each other. We have to learn to embrace each other. Always remember this as well. This ain't got nothing to do with the color of skin. Every single race has been enslaved on the face of this earth. A lot of you have this grievance towards pale-skinned people. I'm not excusing the pale man for his role that he played. No. But I'm going to ask you a question. One of my brothers, we had a conversation earlier. And then, of course, I've used analogies before, but he posed it this way. He said, hey, Chief, what if you had a pit bull and you taught the pit bull, all you taught the pit bull was to kill, to destroy. That's all you taught it to do. And then that's what it did. Who do you blame? Do you blame the pit bull or do you blame the master? That's a question I'm posing to y'all right now. You see what happened to the pale people? That's where the word slave came from, Slav. It was people of color who made them slaves. It was people of color who called them black because they were the first black people. Black had nothing to do with the color of skin. It came from the word sordid that came from the word swat, which meant filthy, dirty. Okay? The most derogatory word on the planet was assigned to these pale-skinned people. That's why black also means pale skin in the etymology. It was their fathers. Okay, it was their fathers that called them that. Dirty, sordid, swat. Go look it up yourself. I'm not making these things up. They ill-treated them. They took them away from civilization and treated them like dogs. And then when they finally brought them back home, the prodigal sons and daughters came back home. They were the children of nobles. So they were able to have the inheritance of the heir of their so-called black fathers. All right? And they remembered what happened to them. And now what they did was, I'm not saying that, you have to pay evil for evil, but that's all they knew. That's all they knew. They didn't know nothing else. They didn't know anything about love because no one loved them. Not that I'm making an excuse for the pale man. No, I'm just giving you a different perspective because a lot of you are lost and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I want to use some colorful words, but I'm going to keep it humble. You see what I'm saying? So when they got the chance to get in power in the 1900s, all they could think of in the back of their mind was how they were ruled by these black people, their fathers that ill-treated them. So what they did to their fathers had nothing to do with us in the Americas. Yes, a lot of our ancestors took part in that as well. So don't think it was just the so-called black Europeans. No, slavery became a trade which had nothing to do with color. Go look at the barbarian slave trade where it was about enslaving pale-skinned people, the Slavs, all over Europe and Africa. That's what happened to them. So when it was their turn, you see, people don't understand and comprehend that life has karma. Ain't no Sky Daddy coming to judge you. You are judged by your actions. Whatever you do is going to come back to you. Whatever you put out is going to come back to you. So yes, so-called black people did that. So when it was their turn to get the comma, our people in the Americas got caught up in the bullshit. Okay? And that's what happened. So I'm not excusing the pale man, but that's all he knew. Survival. The lowest self, the lowest chakra, that's all it knows is survival. You feel me? So they are afraid. It's not that they don't want to release, take their foots off the necks of so-called black people. It's not that they don't want to. They are afraid because they feel if they do that, they will go back to what happened to them in the 13, the 12, the 1400s, the 1600s, the 1700s. They are afraid. You feel me? See, y'all got to study history and know, man. Ask your ancestors to guide you and show you before y'all all up in your emotions. You feel me? So right now, it's about forgiving each other. Forgiving each other. That's what it's about. So that we could bring balance back to Mother Earth. So we could all live in abundance. Everybody who came to the Americas, they ain't going nowhere. If that's y'all, if that's what you think in your mind as an American Indian, you're fooling yourself. Because America is home. America was the first. She was the first. See, y'all don't know that. So this is home to everybody. They're coming back home to mama. Everybody's coming back home to mama. You feel me? Even the Africans are coming back home to mama. The Asians are coming back home to mama because America was the first. Y'all gonna learn that I came here to speak the truth. It was shown to me in visions, shown to me in dreams. And I'm talking about all the way back in 2011, 2012, sitting in my kitchen, meditating, asking my ancestors to guide me, and they gave it to me. I cried like a baby because I saw everything that happened in 1492. Like I said, I just didn't start this journey, man. I've been teaching this. And now everybody's talking about it. But I'm always ahead of my time because a lot of you don't know what really transpired. So a lot of you in your emotions, you think your war and your beef is against the pale man. But let me tell you this once more before I get out of here. And I'm going to show it to you one more time. And if I've already shown it to you before, but check this out. Okay? Just so y'all know, because y'all think this is a game. I've shown it to you before, but I'm going to show it to you again. So you could really know, okay, who the leaders of the world are. Okay? I'm going to show you who they are. You feel me? Don't think it's the pale man. No. It was because of what they did to their pale children. The prodigal sons and daughters had to come back home. And they were heirs to the throne, but they were given a certain time to rule. Okay? Y'all better recognize. Let me show y'all something. All right? The highest vicar in the world of the highest city in the world, guess what? Guess who they are bowing to? The Nubians of Sudan. Okay? Pay attention and watch for yourself. Who is the Pope bowing to? Pay attention. Pay attention to the complexion of the people he is bowing to. Could barely even get up, but he had to bow down. Okay? But yes, he is the father. But guess who's the father of the father? Okay? Y'all better pay attention. Pay attention. Look who they're bowing to. You see who run things? The pale man is just what? The pale man is just the gatekeeper. It was their turn to rule. because of what happened to them. This was our karma for what we did. Okay? All right then. So y'all could get into y'all feelings and y'all emotions. I don't care. I don't care. Y'all could hate me if y'all want. I don't care. I don't play these color games. All right? And like I said, I'm not making an excuses for anything the pale man did. But I don't play these color games because I know the truth. You feel me? And like I told y'all before, we are in the 7th round right now. The 7th round of the ascending arc, where the new race have to be created. And the new race has nothing to do with the color of skin. The new race is a righteous race of every ethnic group. That's why you see Caucasians. That's why you see Asians. That's why you see East Indians. That's why you see American Aborigines. And you see everybody waking up and talking about the truth. But y'all want to be in y'all emotions. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to burn yourself out. And you will not get to see the age of Capricorn, which is the age of heaven on earth. Y'all better stop this hate you have in your heart. I keep warning y'all. Because I promise you, you will not reincarnate. You will not be a reincarnated soul. I guarantee you that. You will not be. So all of you that so-called woke going around, you're not woke. You're still dead. Okay, you think you woke, but you're not. All right? Because the higher self and the lower self must come together. And guess what? Is the middle chakra, the heart chakra. And what is the heart chakra? Love. And until that happens, the universal so-called manifestation of God will never happen. You will never get to see God in its full glory, because God is not a man or a woman or a masculine or a feminine. No, masculine and feminine came through what you call God. In other words, God's came through what you call God. Y'all gonna learn. Keep playing these games. All right? I'm done. I'm done. I love y'all. We'll talk a little. Like I said, I'm organizing right now. Anybody want to reach out? Reach out. The email is myniji united. That's MYNIIJI united @gmail.com. Or you could send me a Facebook inbox. You see what I'm saying? So let us organize. We got work to do. You feel me? We got work to do. And that's just the bottom line. It is time to restore balance so that we could live in abundance, because we all have dominion. All right? But what we did was we abused our dominion. You feel me? And the abuser became the master of the abuse. The abusee became the master of the abuser, because guess what? The first had to be the last, and the last will be the first. Everything that you do, every seed that you sow, you have to reap. And that's a lesson a lot of us fail to learn. You feel me? Pay attention to my words. So keep on. All right. We'll talk soon. Absolutely welcome, Empress. Welcome. We'll talk soon. All right. I got work to do.